What is up, everyone?
There's nobody here but you and me.
All right, fuck you then. Welcome to the RT Fancast, everybody. Episode a dozen.
A dozen?
I'm your host, Marco Luna, with my co-host here, Mary Pat. You know, Chris is gonna never let me ever do this by myself again.
You're not by yourself. You're with me, Marco. You're with an adult.
Yay! Consent is not needed. Woohoo!
Wait, what? So Chris had computer issues, and his new computer is currently traveling to him. I'm sure on the back of some Brahmin.
being driven by a Miguel somewhere from Best Buy.
And Molly's busy being an adult because she's,
Yeah, fucking adult responsibilities, am I right? Like, fuck that. Let's just all be 19 and live with our parents.
I'm 25 and I don't live with my parents, but I don't actually do much right now. But it's Christmas,
right? Same. Yeah. Oh man, so we got some shit to talk about today, everyone.
How have you been, you motherfucker?
Oh, how have I been? I've been good. I've had a solid week. I wanted to watch the new episode of Doctor Who today, which was the season finale, but I couldn't because I had shit to do. So that sucked, but I'm happy to be here. Happy to be on recording this with you.
Are
nice
you
change
excited
of pace where
about
it's just two
Christmas
fucking people.
episode?
I'm very excited for the Christmas episode. I am like...
Every time I have a bunch of people who will share the photo of Peter Capaldi and River Song together, and I'm just like...
It makes me happy, but at the same time, I'm like, get that out of my face. I don't want to accidentally click on something that's going to fuck me over. Like, just keep it away from me. It's awesome. I'm going to see it and I'm going to love it, but keep it away from me until then.
Man, it's going to be great because there's going to be a Sherlock episode, a Christmas Sherlock episode. That's going to be great.
Oh, they do that?
Huh?
Oh, they do that?
I think they're just doing a one-off because they're...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the 10th episode, I guess.
Sherlock.
It's fucking exciting. The British TV has never looked so sexy.
Yeah, especially, and has never been funnier. Because, like,
right?
Goddamn, it's funnier. Dude, I don't know what it is about... This is me. You've enacted the Doctor Who part of me, but I don't know what it is about Peter Capaldi's Doctor that's like so funny yet terrifying at the same time. That's just like,
dude is intimidating as fuck.
I fucking love this Doctor. I'm sorry, David Tennant. I'm sorry, Chris Eccleston, but you lost it, man. Like, this is it. This is the AP phenomenon of Doctor for me.
He's pretty fucking amazing. I am constantly surprised by how just like once I start watching, I can't even, mess around on my phone at the same time. I'm just all in.
And yeah, same. Not going into any spoilers of any recent episodes because some people just they don't have the channel or whatever the fuck. You can watch it online. It's pretty easy. But there are certain things that Peter Capaldi does with his role as the Doctor that after getting through Matt Smith, who was the more childish, more funny, more like kind of just fairy tale type sense Doctor. And he did have his moments, his darkish moments, Matt Smith, really good Doctor. But this Doctor just takes it up to a whole new level that you don't expect. And then when it's there, at first, you kind of don't know how to feel. But then a couple of seconds, you're like, yes, this is exactly what I want.
Like that don't fuck with me, you don't want me mad at you moment.
Basically, yeah, where he's just like
oh.
He looks at the chick and he says, you'll find that it's a very small universe when I'm angry with you. Jesus.
Oh, goodness.
Christ, he's gonna fucking end her. I don't know,
into
man.
Though. I'm totally into it, though.
Shit's popping off this episode, man. Shit's gonna pop off, and I'm all for it. So, anyway, that ends the Doctor Who fan cast. let's let's get on to the Rooster Teeth fan
Wait,
cast.
what? Real quick, I want this on the fucking record. Today, I got my nipples pierced.
All right, no, we didn't talk about you. You're right. Let's talk about you a bit. You did what now?
I got my nipples pierced.
Fantastic. This has been Mary Pat, everybody. Thanks.
I want it
That's
on
all
the
the time we
record
have.
for the sake of posterity. Yeah.
Posterity.
I
You hear
don't
that, guys? That's big words.
I don't even have like a story to go with it other than that a bald lesbian did it and she was really nice.
Nice, nice. This is
Her name's
when you
Adele.
initially said this in the chat in the Skype chat. That's what I had in mind. Really, that's what like I said. I'm gonna picture context to this, and pretty much what came up in my mind was a bald lesbian in some place wherever those things are done. And I'm just
Very
like,
pretty
yeah,
tattoo studio. Lots
I
of bright
figure,
colors
yeah,
on the
they usually
walls.
do those in like tattoo parlors.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
In the
that's got to be
mall.
like, imagine a straight dude. I mean, it's literally the same thing for I assume uh, women who are lesbians, because I'm not a woman who's a lesbian, so I wouldn't know. Or maybe
Well,
I
if you
am.
try harder.
Yeah, if I try hard enough, I could be. But where it's like I'm I'm holding someone's boob right now, and I'm doing this to it. All right, where it's like that's some pretty cool stuff. That's a good day.
So I went with my brother's fiance because she got her
Oh,
belly button
nice.
done, and she took video of me, and my face didn't move at all when she did it. The other nipple, the the righty nipple, that one, I knew it was coming, but the first one, my face didn't move at all, and I was like, that's kind of cool that I have that on record.
Fucking metal, man. Like
It
shit.
really, my nose, when I got my septum piercing done, it hurt a lot more because they clamped it, and the clamp was harder, and it was there for longer, and it was, on your nose, so your eyes are watering, and so I was like,
Ow.
I was silently freaking out, but I was trying to be a man about it. I was trying to
Like
over up.
I can totally dig that stuff on people. Like I've never obviously I don't give a crap what people do with their bodies. It's not my business, nor will
Mm-hmm.
it ever be.
You
But
just
for me,
want to
it's
lick
like
it.
I mean, all right, that's what you say. Um, but it's like for me, it's like that's painful. That's just too much. I just want to be me. I just want to sit home and play video games. And obviously, both can
You're
be
young.
done. But I just want one. I just want the latter.
Listen, if you talked to me a year ago, you didn't know me a year ago, but if you talked to me a year ago, I would
Thank
not,
fucking
you
god.
couldn't have paid me to do that. But I'm
Yeah,
trying to be like a risk taker and
risk taker,
yes,
piercing getter.
yeah, well, I'm just trying to be like, I'm trying to make interesting decisions for myself
All
without
right.
making any decisions that are going to affect me forever. And that's the end of
Yeah.
that. So let's talk about Rooster Teeth.
All right. Fucking Rooster Teeth. Am I right, you guys? What should we start with? Oh, fucking happy holidays, everyone! With this 2015 holiday musical that came out like fucking 2 weeks ago, but just talk about it now.
Mhm.
I don't know. Other than like just getting into the spirit of the holidays, I kind of saw this one coming because they had one last year, which was funny as hell. The 12 Days of Rooster Teeth.
Mhm.
Um, this one was still pretty funny too. It was just funny. Had a lot of
Not
good
as good
moments.
as 12 Days of Rooster Teeth. That one was like amazing. I do like though that their thing now is just to be psycho at Christmas. I
Yeah,
appreciate that a
everything
lot.
goes to shit. Just like cops get involved, everything just turns over. But yeah, no, I've always been a fan of the holidays. I always enjoy it. I mean, I always like to act like this giant fucking Grinch most of the time. And then the second like December 1st comes around, I'm like, all right, gonna go decorate the tree now. Make some fucking cookies, watch my Christmas specials from when I was a kid. Everyone else have a nice day.
Yeah. No, I've been pretty hardcore about holidays before. I have 8 Christmas trees of various sizes.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. I really like Christmas. It's a little weird because of my like I've moved around the country and shit this year. I'm just
Hmm.
glad to be settled and like happy, and that's like the best Christmas I could have ever asked for.
That's nice, Mary Pat. That's really nice. Now,
Life's
back to
good
what you
right
were
now.
saying. How the fuck did you get 8 trees all shoved into the same place?
They're all small. The tallest one I have is 3 feet.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, but there's like, what?
Uh, sorry. I'm just thinking. My mind's in the gutter.
By the way, segue. I saw in person the biggest penis I've ever seen in my life.
Oh my god.
Just
Okay.
from across the way. Like I didn't
Across
mean to
the way,
see it.
what the fuck was happening?
It was like it was from far away. And I was
Mm-hmm.
like, that's somebody's arm. It wasn't somebody's arm. But anyway, I have all these Christmas trees, and some of them have some of them are themed to a certain color, and some of them are just multicolored. And I have special Christmas lights that have purple on them because most Christmas lights don't. So I have a
Yeah.
rainbow.
My mom
And
wanted pink on the lights, but we couldn't find any.
I have a tree that's pink, that has pink lights on it, and it's fiber
Ooh,
optic. It's a white
nice,
tree,
nice.
white fiber optic, and it's got pink, and like it's got like ribbons and shit on it. It looks cool.
That's pretty.
I'll have to.
Yeah, I've seen like different colored trees, like of many sizes, but I saw this one. I don't know what the hell. I think it was black. Like it might have been like a dark blue or something like that, but it literally from far away in the store looked pitch black.
Yeah, I have a
And
black tree.
I'm like, yeah, the fucking tree is black. I'm like, that's metal as fuck.
Yeah, if you decorate them right, they look really cool. Like my favorite
Yeah,
type of tree is the traditional, like green with the
same.
multicolor lights. That's my favorite kind. But I do like messing around with the other ones. And as I get older, I hope to add, because I think it's a lot better to have
Mary Pat likes to
several.
mess around. Confirmed.
Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Don't be jealous. But
All
I
right.
like having like 8 small trees rather than one big one. I figure maybe I could take the smaller trees and like create one big tree out of them,
Jesus,
like
fucking
stack them on
Ultron of
tables.
trees. Voltron. I'm
Yes,
sorry. Please don't kill me,
yes.
nerds. I said Ultron
They
initially, so
weren't. They
sorry
weren't
about that.
listening to you. They're
Chris is
listening to
gonna
me.
fucking murder me.
Chris
A
can
Megazord of
suck
trees.
on something.
I mean, wait till RTX, and I've got something for him right here. But yeah. No, speaking of candy canes, God damn it.
Uh huh. Go
Uh huh.
ahead. Go
No, thanks.
on.
I'd rather keep my non-paying job as a co-host on a podcast. Um, wouldn't that be great if I got paid? But yeah, no, I don't know, like
You're
something
getting
about the
paid in
holidays, decorating,
experience.
all that shit. It's always been like fun. But then whenever the holiday finishes, whatever holiday may be, I'm like, fuck, I have to clean all this shit up.
Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Like all of my holiday spirit goes down the fucking toilet, and I'm just like, God damn it, this mess. Look at this mess here.
That's why I usually keep my trees up till like around my birthday in April.
Nice.
Yeah. I just, they're pretty.
People walk in like, what the fuck month is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's.
April Fools, it's Christmas, assholes.
No, but that's good. I'll use that.
I have a cousin who's born on April 1st. It's fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm. The Weasley twins were
Literally.
born on
I
April
had
1st.
so many instances where I wanted to get like a laptop box of a new laptop and then just inside have like, I don't know, something to weigh it down and then just be like, ha, April Fool's, asshole.
I,
But if
I
I
want
did,
to do an April Fool's prank this year or next year to my parents, but I feel
oh
like
boy,
the I'm pregnant one would be too much.
don't give them a
Bec-
fucking heart attack.
they're 80 years old, so
Yeah, don't give them a
it's like
fucking heart
let's not
attack.
give them a heart attack.
Yeah. But for me, it's like if I had to do that, if I did that to my cousin, where I'm like, "Hey, April Fools," with like an iPad box or some shit, I would have to actually come up with it. Like I'm that kind of person where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if I do something like that, I have to make up for it like immediately and exactly. So I would have to actually hand her an iPad afterwards. Like, no, this really here, take it. I'd feel terrible.
Because you're
But
nice.
cause I'm
Whatever.
I'm not the pranking type. Like the biggest prank I can pull and like not feel terribly bad about is like jumping out at someone. But even then, I'm like, I'm gonna get punched in the face.
No, no, no. Literally, that's what my reaction is. If you scare me, I punch and then I scream, and that happens within like the first
Yeah.
second of reaction.
I just flail and like scream like God damn it because I know it's somebody playing a joke on me. Like never in my life has anyone jumped out at me with ill intent. So I'm just like, God damn
I'll
you,
make a few
whoever did
calls.
that.
I'll get
Jesus.
El Chapo on the
You're gonna have
case.
to fucking look over my shoulder now? Jesus Christ.
I'll be like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" And
¿Cómo
he'll.
estás? I got this fucking skimp of a motherfucker, Marco Luna. God, he wants you to take care of him. God. He's a regular Donald Trump, this Marco.
Oh shit!
Just fucking get him. God
Jesus.
damn it. But back to fucking cool stuff that's funny. Did you enjoy that Ashley Faddison short
I
from
did,
Street?
and I was glad to have context for the Buff Buddies episode.
Oh yeah.
I do like that that Barbara and Tom were married in the short, because I'm like,
Yeah.
that's like a recurring thing, right? Like the way too pretty chick with the,
Yep.
I'm not gonna say he's schlubby, but a little bit schlubby.
I,
I
I
mean,
I should
he's the
say
guy
he's
who
a
made out
he's
with
a
Gavin, right?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm not wrong, I think if I'm not wrong, if I'm correct, I think that's who it is. Because I mean, I don't know what else I've seen him other than the fucking Ashley Faddison short. So I'm just like, I think that's him. Pretty sure. Either way, the guy's funny. I saw him. He was on the episode of On the
On
Spot that
spot,
came out today for the
yeah.
public, and I watched a bit of that. But then I had stuff to do, so sorry, John Reisinger.
No, that was a funny fucking episode.
Yeah, I don't know. Whenever Joel is in there, and I'm just like, yeah,
He
this is gonna be
tried
good.
so hard, but
Yeah.
Adam was not having it, which is much better.
Somebody bring Jack back, please.
No, you need like someone who is
Hashtag
more
acknowledge
absurd
Jack.
than Joel. Like
Well,
really,
they replaced the beard. Well, other guy didn't have a beard anymore.
yeah. They just need to, but with Joel, they need someone who can go with his wackiness and take it up a notch. So they need someone like James, right? Like who will
Oh
just
God,
up
that
the
would be
wacky.
amazing.
Yeah, and then put like Bruce and who else is Bruce and Jack on the other team, so they'll just like chuckle. That's their whole team is just they're gonna laugh.
That's it. They'll just be laughing.
Mm-hmm.
The entire episode would just be them like on the side,
Yeah, right.
just chuckling their asses off like a couple of old grandpas. I love those guys. Fucking bunch of
Yeah.
bastards.
Jack looks deformed without the facial hair.
I don't think he looks deformed. I just to me it's unnatural because he looks fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with him, but it's like I got so used to the beard, and I'm just like, who
Well,
is
I mean,
that?
it's as part of him as his personality, like as the fact that he sometimes takes things too seriously, like
Eh,
or the fact that he's the brunt of all the jokes. Like that
Do
is
you
as
like?
ingrained as his beard is.
Do you often get like into like these kinds of arguments with beards about them being too serious? Like, do you just yell at dudes' beards? Like, you're a real stiff. You know that?
Yes, I do.
You're a
And
fucking
then I'm
bore.
like, you need to be a little bit more Rasputin-y so I can twirl it around my finger or something.
you're you're at about yay. You're about 5 o'clock shadow. You need to be at like Rasputin level.
Mm-hmm. When I was at the Yu-Gi-Oh
Gotta
tournament.
what's the guy Grizzly Adams? You need to be at Grizzly Adams level.
You need to be like Grizzly Adams plus the entire cast of Duck Dynasty.
Jesus Christ.
That's manly. There was a
Yep.
there was a guy at the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament who had like his hair on his head, on the top of his head, was very hipster. Like it was
Oi.
shaved at the sides and it was sort of in like that top bun thing, but he also sort of had it spiked. It was very like
Yeah.
styled. But then he had this just explosion of hair coming from his like chin. It was just
Jesus.
like the most Amish, crazy, insane, like might turn into some sort of monster
I tell you, man,
beard.
some people are just like out there.
It was really interesting though
Oh,
because it was very stylized and controlled up top, and then
yeah. I guess
the
there's a
party was
contrast. And then at the bottom it's like fucking jungle of hair.
Yeah, it's like you take a piece of cardboard and you cover the top half
Welcome
of his
to the
face.
jungle. We have
You put the
fun games.
cardboard up and you ask if someone would hire them. And they're like, with that beard, he looks insane. And then you look at the top half and they're like, no, he's a hipster. I'm
Oh.
not gonna hire him either.
It's like
No, I
beard,
really
not
like
hiring that
hipsters.
guy. Hair, you're not helping your case, buddy. My aunt, who's a
Man,
hairstylist, has my cousin who we've talked about before for various reasons. Um,
yes.
since a
When you
very young age,
urinated
like
on him,
once he was old enough to
or
just
the other
like
way.
when he started going to school and whatnot, just not old enough. But like she would start doing his hair and like she would do that where she would like kind of like shave the sides of his hair like enough where there would still be hair but it wasn't bald, and then the top of it she
Hmm.
would just style in different ways, and I'm like, why is my fucking 5-year-old cousin looking like he's gonna waltz into a fucking Starbucks at 9 o'clock at night or something? Are they open until 9?
Hmm.
It's like, or he's gonna go to the local farmers market and shit. Like, he's a 5-year-old. Good lord.
Yeah,
This kid's watching Yo Gabba Gabba and he looks like he's supposed to be fucking, I don't know, going to a music concert later tonight.
but
I don't
really,
know what the
like,
fuck
what are you
hipsters do.
supposed to do with little boys' hair? Like, do you do
Good
bowl
point.
cut
It
or
is
you
sort of
shave
fucking
it
everywhere.
short?
I mean, yeah, what I did when I was a kid, because I never styled my hair. My mom always complained, got on my ass about it, that I never touched it. I would wake up, I would sort of like, I wouldn't even run a comb through it. I'd splash a bit of water in this mess of hair that I have, kind of like try to straighten it out with my hands a little, and then just go about my day. It's like, because I just have so much hair and it's so uncontrollable that like I like getting haircuts now. I like having my hair a bit shorter than usual. But like I'm also so lazy to do anything with it when it gets long. So I'm just like, it's too much for me, you know. I'm I'm just not about having a lot of hair because I'm just too lazy to do anything with it. That's why I can't dress nice either. Like I'm usually, if you see me in the wild, I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts or maybe jeans. Like maybe jeans because it's
What's
fucking
wrong
hot.
with that?
I don't know. People used to tell me I don't know if I talked about it once where I I got I got a new outfit from like I think my birthday once, and a haircut and everything. I looked real nice. I went to school the next day. This is in high school, and everyone looked at me like I'm like, holy shit, who the fuck is this guy? I got like 10 compliments that day from guys and girls. Um so I'm just like thinking to myself, I'm like, usually I come in dressed in a t-shirt and like jeans and nothing. You show up wearing a fucking button-up shirt one day, and it's like, who? Holy shit! Who's fucking Rico
Yeah,
Suave over here?
that happened to me in high school too. Except I wore eyeliner and like a new bra one day, and everyone told me I was like trying too hard. That was my reaction.
They were looking too hard if they noticed your fucking bra.
Yeah, well, because I wore sports bras in high school, because
Sportsen brassen.
fuck maintenance.
Yeah, no, yeah, like I couldn't give less of a fuck. I had nobody to impress. I didn't have anybody to like try to
You know who I
impress.
impressed? I impressed my teachers with my big ass brain.
N- Mary Pat, give me a high five. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, it worked. Sort of.
Close
Bit
enough.
off key. Close enough. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's basically like I dressed whatever the fuck I had. Like, here's a t-shirt, here's this and that. That's it. Roll with it.
Right.
God. So
Mm-hmm.
fucking other stuff.
Bless
um,
America.
speaking of hair and people with hair that I envy very much. Well, in their real life versions, not their cartoon versions. X-Ray and Vav has shorts now. Like they're putting out. Well, they put out one where it's like even shorter episodes from the already short episodes.
It's
It's
sort of
like,
like a PSA.
yeah, sort of like the PSAs they do for RVB, but with X-Ray and Vav. And yeah, it's pretty funny. I laughed. It was just like a normal episode, except a bit shorter, and like there's no huge long plot that they do. It's just they're in one place doing one thing, and yeah, it's really funny.
Just getting up to shenanigans. Listen,
I
X-Ray and Vav could go on forever as far as I'm concerned. I
Yeah, same.
fucking
Like
love
I
it.
have
It's
no I
fantastic.
have no fill. I have no fill with that. Like just keep it coming, please.
Well, you have
I
a
beg
big
of you.
boner for Ray, though.
That's true. And I'm crying that I probably won't be able to buy his new Twitch shirt, which I talked about last week, so I won't go on about
Mm-hmm.
it, but you know, it's just I don't know. He's always been my basically my favorite person at Rooster Teeth ever since I started watching it all. Because I don't want to sound like sappy, like, oh, I relate to him because he's brown and I'm brown. Not really, but it's like that's sort of kind of why at first, because I'm just like I've never had a lot of exposure to white people. I'm gonna be honest with you. Living in where I lived in California when I went to school, there was very few like hardcore blonde hair people and like just people who were like who just weren't brown and black and Asian. So I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
huh. And so you see one guy who's Puerto Rican, you're like, close enough. I like this one. And it was also funny. He's also really funny. So I'm just like, all right, I like him. I don't know. He just seemed to like kind of like
Well, I
lean
mean, I
towards that
related to
more.
Lindsay because she was a girl and she was like had a weird sense of humor.
Yeah, you're
You know,
both
so you
fucking peas
relate
in a
to people
pod.
who, yeah.
Peas in a pod. Female, weird sense of humor. I see it.
No,
I do though. I do. But
I think I'm far more like men at Rooster Teeth than I am at than I am like any of the girls.
you're right. Like with the X-ray and Vav shorts or X-ray and Vav in general, I thought that at first I thought like, okay, are they gonna try to like replicate their exact personalities, or are they gonna go their own way, just like basing themselves off Ray and Gavin? And it turns out that that's what they did because like obviously Ray isn't a loud, obnoxious asshole every second of every day, as X-ray is. X-ray really is loud, obnoxious, self-obsessed, and all that. And so I'm just like, okay, yeah, that works for this. Like it's in the way they wrote the show and the way they went into the character development, it all made sense and it all works. And I like how they
Mm-hmm.
said and or I like how they made it so it's like it's not Ray and Gavin, it's X-Ray and Vav. They're just based loosely off of them. They're two
Do
different
they even call
individuals.
each other Ray and Gavin at any
No,
point
they
in the
don't. They're
show?
X-Ray and Vav. They literally have
Yeah,
no
yeah,
other.
exactly. So it's, I mean, they're
Well, no,
committing to it at
they did
least.
X-Ray and Vav like as a team. Like their nicknames were a thing before the show, but like in the context of the show, they're like they've never
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
just
no,
X-Ray and Vav. I'm sure he was born X-Ray, like at this point in the show, because like that's cartoons for you, you know, the fucking like Powerpuff Girls and SpongeBob and all that.
no. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm glad they committed to that. So it wasn't like because they did the origin story of X-Ray and Vav without uh defaulting
yeah,
to like Gavin and Ray. Because really,
it really wouldn't.
that wouldn't have made a whole lot of
I
sense.
do like how like their workarounds for it is like when Ray's mom,
But
who's Gus, calls him. It doesn't. He doesn't say Ray. Or, she doesn't say Ray or X-ray. She
yeah,
says Mijo or something like that. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. Good, good, good cover
yeah,
up.
yep, yep,
But
yep,
I know all around
yep.
fucking good show. I can't wait. I hope there's a season 3. I'm sure there will be, and I pray to every god
Oh,
that has ever
absolutely, there
existed
will
or has
be.
ever been believed in that there is a season 3 and it keeps going forever and ever and ever.
I don't see any reason why they'd stop it because
Another thing
it
that I hate is
did
that people
well and
assume that
people
just
like it.
because the characters were like sort of they were inspired by Ray and Gavin and all that, that they assume that Ray and Gavin know every detail ever. Like I'll be in Ray's Twitch chat and people will be like, "Oh, here's all these questions about X-Ray and Vav." Ray's just like, "I'm just a voice. I'm glad you enjoy it." Like, sort of like it's not his thing. Yeah,
Well, because it looks like them. Let's be honest. It's because you see it and you go, okay, that's Gavin, that's Ray. Because that's
but
not
I feel
something that
like
you would happen with Ruby. Like
I
Lindsay
feel
does the
like I'm
voice
the
of
only
Ruby,
one
but
that's
doesn't look like Ruby.
like that one picture of forgot his name, great actor John Goodman from The Big Lebowski, where it's like, am I the only one around here who blah 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 blah? Like, am I the only one around here who knows that Ray and Gavin are just voice
Yeah,
actors? They
yeah.
don't write the show. Like, that's what you feel like in those kind of people.
No, if you got
Yeah, fucking
questions,
honestly.
ask Ray and Lindsay,
But
right?
if they had actual questions, yeah, they would ask Jordan and all those people, like people who are actually doing the show. Obviously, Ray and Gavin do a lot because they're the
Right.
voice actors. They made up the characters originally. So it's like, I don't know. It's just like when you're a person with a lot of common sense, it just makes no sense.
They didn't make up
I
the
mean,
characters though.
yeah,
They
they
just
made up
sort
they
of
they made up with the namesakes, and it was
came up
supposed to
with
be
the
like a joke, like yeah, that's
names.
their superhero names. And then the suits came around when Matt Hullum's wife, who makes costumes and stuff, made them, and they did it for RTX. It was this big thing.
Did you see the Lady
I did. I
X-Ray
see
Vav
quite a few of those
costumes?
online, but like they're really fucking
Holy
good.
shit.
Yeah.
They are amazing. Like, I don't want to be creepy, but they're pretty
I'm
fucking
just waiting for
awesome.
them to sell like official costumes because I will buy one in an instant. Because
I've been waiting for them to sell
Oh
weapons, to
yeah.
sell ruby weapons, because I have.
Eh,
Well, never mind.
For me, it's like I want to
No, go
cosplay
ahead.
stuff. I have a huge like urge to cosplay, but then it's like that face when no money, that face when like no skills at making costumes. So it's like if you would just sell me this, it would be great. Please. Like and there's really
Right,
hard stuff that
yeah.
you want to cosplay too. Like I really want to do the Flash from the CW show. I was about to go into like CW accent. Um but like obviously it's a long huge leather outfit with a lot of detail in it, and it's like I can't fucking make this. And then online there's quite a few of them that are very good quality, except for the masks. Seriously guys, fix your shit. um the masks that they sell that come with the costume are absolute shit. It just doesn't look good, but the rest of the costume itself is fine. It's like, see, this I would buy because I have no way of making any of this, much less like making it well. You know, it's like this thing made from actual people who know what the fuck they're doing in China.
Well, but that doesn't
For me,
matter.
it's a personal thing. It's for me, it
I've
does.
no. I listen. I agree with you. I would never cosplay because it would never be
Same.
perfect enough. Like either my body wouldn't be perfect enough, the costume wouldn't be perfect enough. There'd be somebody better. I like to
I
be the
wanna
best when I do
be
stuff.
the very best.
Unfortunately, it's a character flaw of me.
Never was. Dun, dun, go on.
Yes. No, I was gonna let you sing. We were gonna
No,
turn
no,
this
no,
into
no,
a
no, no.
musical
think,
episode.
I think the community is better off not hearing my horrid fucking pubert voice when singing. Fucking, I'm becoming a man right now. Okay, you need to leave me alone.
The internet is
I'm
for
becoming a
porn.
man at 19.
No, well, I mean, my brother is 19 and he's
That's
engaged.
fucking weird. Good for him though.
He's gonna get married
I
next
mean,
year.
I'm all about
Yeah.
it. Like I have no quarrel with that, but it's like I would never in my life do that.
I got
I would
married at
never in
19.
my life do that. Like I don't even plan on getting married for a long time. Like I would have to meet like the perfect person and just be like, "Okay, I think this is good." But up until then, I'm still young. I've still got a long ways to go. I'm just like, "Nope, that's not for me to even be thinking about right now."
I don't want to get like
Dude, fucking
philosophical or
do
any
it.
of that
Drop
bullshit,
some
but I did meet the perfect
hardcore
person.
philosophy on us.
I did meet the perfect person, and it still didn't
See,
work
everyone
out.
has fucking flaws, bro.
Like
No
we
one
were
is perfect. There's always going to be something about somebody you don't like or that comes off wrong.
well, instead of worrying about the future, I'm just trying to have fun.
I like Mary Pat.
And I that's
I don't know who I'm talking to, but anybody listening, Mary Pat is fucking cool.
aw,
In fact,
you're
I
fucking
would even
cool.
consider like I wish nothing but the best for you, Mary Pat. I wish you to be happy for more than an hour, like in this week's latest happy hour.
I was like, where the fuck is he going with this? Are we really gonna go down the sentimental
Oh
place?
my god.
Ah,
So happy
Happy
hour
Hour
was
is
fucking funny.
one of the best things on
I love
earth.
that show because I'm just
I
like,
love Griffin. I
yes,
love
my
her so
favorite
much.
things, Griffin and other stuff. It's my favorite things. We all know it's established that I'm a huge fan of Griffin Ramsey and everything she does, both in her carving, her ASMR work, and just her as a person. Like, god damn, she's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
She's
Yep.
pretty all around badass. She's like, you know how you're supposed to look up to like Eleanor Roosevelt. Well,
I thought you were
maybe
gonna
you don't
say.
because you're
I
not a
thought you were
woman.
gonna
But
say
if you're a
Ellen
woman, you're
DeGeneres. I was about to
supposed
say, why the fuck would I do that?
no, but like you're supposed to look up to like Eleanor Roosevelt, or you're supposed to look up to
Or
Helen
Betsy
Keller. Like,
Ross.
um, 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 what?
Oh,
Maybe
what's the
like
black lady who got kicked off the bus?
what's her nuts with the voting?
Yeah, Rosa
Rosa
Parks.
Parks. Elizabeth.
You just want to name off
something.
every famous historical female?
Shit. Anyway, you're supposed to look up to these women who've done like amazing things, whatever. And I feel like Griffin is like the modern day woman to look up to because she like clearly very much cares about her family, works really hard, is very involved in her marriage and keeping it exciting. Like she just seems
Yeah,
very well rounded, like from an
as a person,
outsider's
yeah, just from a
perspective.
like
But
bystander, from what we see.
yeah, I admire her a lot.
Same.
I've always thought she was really cool, but I don't think anybody can look at her and think she's not.
I think that like anybody who like
You know?
I this comes from experience having a dad. Like my dad has tattoos. Like he's got, I think, on both his arms, not like full hardcore sleeves like Jeff level, but he's got a good amount of tattoos on his arms and whatnot. So it's like growing up with that, you have to go to school. Like, all right, your parents need to
Papa
come
Luna.
do this or whatever, and your dad shows up, and people are like, "Is this like guy gonna choke slam you or some shit?" Like, I don't know, shit like that. So you kind of get that. You
Yeah,
see
but
that
do you think
judgmental
that
side of
once
people.
you have kids, that's going to be
What's
a
up?
thing? Do you think that once like you have kids, like once your kids are in school, that's
Probably
going to
not.
be a thing anymore? Because I think that it's a pretty 50-50 split where you have like all
I mean,
alternative
and
parents,
listen to me.
and then you have like
I'm sure your parents are lovely. I don't mean to say this about them, but old white people are gonna die soon. We don't got to worry about them anymore. Old, like there's so many.
my mother is usually very conservative, and I called her and cause I'm not good at keeping secrets from her. So I called her and I told her what I did, and she's like, "You embrace your womanhood." And I was like, "Okay, Mom."
Oh my god, that's great.
But my dad is like textbook
Oh,
Bill
lordy, lordy,
O'Reilly,
lordy.
dick sucking. Yeah, so don't know how they ended up together.
Listen,
but
man, it's just the, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't
anyway,
want to say it.
Jesus Christ. Oh God. But seriously, my dad was he was a football player when he was younger. Like he was a
Oh, cool.
really good football player, and he was a wrestling coach, and he's an
Jesus.
archer now and a fisherman, and he's like a total like outdoorsman badass dude. And he was a looker when he was younger.
Nice.
He really was. So good on him. Well, like both my parents are teachers, and they're the reason that I want to be a
Same.
teacher. So like, and that comes from both of them because my mom taught little kids, and she's very like patient, and she's very colorful, and so I get that from her. But then again, I don't know if I want to spend the rest of my life teaching little kids because sometimes little kids are dumb, and sometimes I'd like to make a dick joke like under the
Same.
radar. And I think that maybe like high school or college would appreciate that. Plus, I think it would be really cool if I was a PhD, like Mary Pat PhD.
That sounds
I'm
like
a doctor,
so.
bitch. Like
It's like, hi, my name is Mary Pat PhD. Like, you don't expect that.
Yeah.
That's a real
Mary
white
Pat's still
right
PhD.
wing out of nowhere,
What?
just bam in
No?
the face. Didn't expect that, huh? See that coming.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be cool to get my master's and then hopefully I don't want to ever have to take out my nose ring because it was a pain in the ass to get it to heal the first time. So I'd like to be able to teach someplace where I don't have to take it out.
Or some kid, or someplace where a little kid
Fortunately-
who's an idiot gets curious as to what it is and reaches for it, and then pain. But no, I've always had like my main interest. Like, I look back on my time in school, and I remember that there's kids like me that exist, and I'm like, nope, I want to teach seniors. I want to teach seniors in high school about to leave, finding their life. Maybe
but I'd like
freshmen,
to be that
maybe
cool
sophomores.
teacher.
I mean, but it's like there are people like me that exist in this world, and I don't want to deal with them. Even though I'd love to teach because the teachers I had, they were awesome, and the class was awesome, and like I love this class. Everyone was good.
Mhm.
Everyone was cool to each other in this class, even though outside the class we didn't talk or anything. But it's like people like me exist. Kids like me are out there, and they are out for blood.
You know who's out for blood?
Fucking, I don't know. Fucking Batman.
Fucking
Batman. Batman, you guys. I need a second. Hold on.
Jesus.
Motherfucking Batman.
Dude,
Ugh,
I can't.
Just
fuck everybody who said Affleck
dude,
wasn't right.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mary. I had my doubts at first. I had my doubts. I wasn't like straight out like fuck
Nope.
that guy, but I was like, huh? Ben Affleck? Who do I know that? Where do I
I
know
was
this
on
guy from? I
board.
think he was Daredevil. Like that was my entire like that's Ben
Yeah.
Affleck, and I'm just like, what? But then
Well, I'm a big fan of
ah,
Kevin Smith's movies, and he's
yeah,
in a
you're
lot
right.
of early
I
Kevin
think
Smith's
he
movies.
was even in
So I
Clerks too,
knew
wasn't
he
he? He
could
walked
fucking
in at
do
one point.
anything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's gonna, I mean, and he's gonna come back around now that he's
Yeah,
getting divorced.
good.
So,
Um,
I don't know if that was the right reaction, but dude, okay,
fucking
Batman.
hell, like,
I
ugh.
just,
Let me
oh,
just say, let me quote Adam Kovic, who I don't know. This is gonna sound weird, but Adam Kovic reminds me of my brother a lot. Like, I don't know. Whenever I'm just watching something where Adam Kovic talks a lot, and I'm just like, man, this guy reminds me a lot of my brother. Or like certain things that he says in tweets. He tweeted to Ben Affleck, and he responded, I think, when he said that like Bruce Wayne or Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne running into like the like destruction of Zod versus Superman was the most Batman thing ever, and I'm like, damn, you're right. Like after
mm-hmm,
rewatching that trailer and just seeing that like he's running into that and he gives no fucks. I'm like, damn.
mm-hmm.
And then seeing these most recent trailers, seeing the
Fucking
photos,
Batman.
seeing what he's like, I'm just like, fuck, dude. And this is when I knew I had turned. The other day they were passing Nolan's trilogy on TV, and I'm like, I have nothing against it. Still one of my favorite movie trilogies. They're still good fun to watch. But after seeing like the suit in action, his voice in action, everything, all that, I'm just like, I don't like this Batman as much anymore. Like I really loved that Batman. That was
Mm-hmm.
my pinnacle like Batman when I was a kid.
I think that's called, I think the technical term for that
Yeah.
is called new dick
Yeah, where you just
syndrome.
get this fresh dick and you're like, this is good dick. Like this is much this is
Yeah,
like
and you're
bigger,
like, this is
better dick
great
than the dick
dick.
I was already on. Like, right? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's just
Talk about
like
that dick, Marco.
I got me some bat dick now. Like this is some fleck dick. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
God. I like how this entire time we've just been saying Batman. We forgot
Fleck
to
dick.
mention
I
Superman.
like that.
Superman is also in this movie.
Oh.
I
I don't like what's his face.
I've
So
never.
I
Oh, I'm
mean,
absolutely in
I'm
it for
in. I'm
Batman.
in for
I've
Batman.
never been a huge fan of the suit that they're using now, but I mean, how can you really do that suit right? Like, in my opinion, the best you can do is probably what they did in the New 52, where he has like a bit of a collar, and I don't know, the cape is different. Like the cape just goes on, clips on differently. Like I don't know, just little details. I'm just like, it looks really good.
Well, I mean, they somehow made a very campy Batman suit into like really cool, like
Yeah, like I
modern
said, like I
day
looked
knight
at it and I
armor.
look at yeah,
But they can't. They can't do that with Superman. Well, I mean, I guess Superman doesn't
naked.
need it
He could
though.
just be butt
So
naked
Superman
running
could just be
around.
like,
I'm the man of steel,
in
bitches.
yeah, he could just be wearing a speedo.
Dude, make him dress like
Yeah,
make
steel
him dress
ass,
like they dress up female
steel abs.
superheroes. See if he likes it. How about them apples, Superman? But yeah, like looking at um Bale's suit. I forgot Christian Bale's name. Um looking at his suit and it's just like practically pitch black. You can barely see any of it. It's all just like this. And then when he does the like in the new one in the Dark Knight when he can turn his neck, he gets that new suit. I'm just like I'm looking at it and I'm like I don't really like this suit. I don't like it. It's just it's nothing like Batman's suit is supposed to
I
be.
don't like it either.
But
I don't like it.
do you want to just do the rest of the fan cast in this voice?
No, it's not.
Yeah, same. Where's Chris? You know where he is. Oh god. But I watched those movies
You're
since
so
like
good at
they
that.
came out 50 times. I
Maybe that'll help
I had no
you
breaks.
become a man.
Yeah, maybe. If I just start talking in Batman
A
voice.
man
But
like Batman.
I do like what they're doing with this one's where they're not making
If
they're
you
not
become
making
a
him
billionaire
what's up?
playboy, if you become a superhero billionaire playboy, hey, what's up?
Philanthropist.
Like not in a sexual way, but just like, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? All right, no problem. Dude, like if I became a billionaire, there's no way in hell I would pass up the chance to be Batman. Like, I would literally just be Batman. I don't care how quickly I'd get arrested or beat up. I would just be Batman.
You would get beat up so fast.
Yeah, dude. I'd get fucking
You'd
annihilated
get
in
beat
an
up so
instant. Like, I'd
fast.
run up
You
to a
would
guy
get
like,
destroyed.
justice, and he'd just stab me, and I'd be like, oh, God.
Yeah.
Fucking
All
call
the
an
money in the
ambulance.
Yeah.
Immediately pull off mask. I'm a billionaire. Call an ambulance. God damn it. But I like what they're doing with
I would
Ben
out you
Affleck's
so quick.
Batman, where they're giving him kind of like just a voice altering. I assume he has it built in, where he's just like a voice alterer.
Mm-hmm.
So his voice is just kind of like echoey and
See, that would make sense.
yeah. So it's like that makes sense instead of him just going around like crushing his throat inwards. Just like ugh.
Mm-hmm. Summoning a demon.
Yeah. But I don't know. Obviously, everyone has their different perks. I mean, some people still actually like the fucking like 80s Batman movies and stuff. I mean, the movies are fine, but I mean the suit and the actor and all that and how they did it and stuff. So I'm just like,
Well, it's just different. It's
yeah.
like, okay, if you're doing Justice League, it can't have Nolan's Batman. You can't have that
Yeah.
level of seriousness, or else Justice League is going to be terrible.
He'd just be around like
You
Batman. We forget is also kind of a cheeky bastard. Like he has his moments where he's a fucking like cheeky little
right,
son of a bitch.
and the thing is, for all of his like physical abilities and his like fighting and stuff, he's a detective.
Yeah.
He's smart. He's really fucking smart.
Yep.
And that's supposed to be the thing.
Yeah. And here's my question.
I don't know if
so.
Uh-huh.
In this new trailer that came out, where I'm not going to talk about who they show because some people don't like to watch, even though it's hard to miss it now, who the big bad is, or who people seem to think it is. I know who it is, but I don't want to say.
It's El Chapo.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking El Chapo comes out of nowhere, and then Batman's like, "Oh shit."
No, it's not El Chapo. That was just a joke. It's
Yeah.
Actually Caitlyn Jenner.
Jesus, I would pay money to see that movie just to walk out of the theater and hate that movie. I would pay money to hate it.
Spend $400 million on this piece of shit.
But I do want to ask this question though before we get on to other topics.
Right.
Batman, to what I know, is the greatest detective. Yes. I hope that's what they're bringing to the character in this version with Ben Affleck. Because
doubt it.
He's a bit old.
They seem like they're going full action with it.
Really, full action? I thought he would have been the detective part too, also. But whatever. Also, because I mean, he had a fucking Robin at some point. If he had a Robin at some point, he obviously he could have been a bit of a detective, a little sleuthy sleuth.
But at the same time, like Nolan had all that series, Dark Knight had all this like sidekicky people making the weapons, doing the shit like that.
All right,
It's not like those people didn't. There's no reason for them to exist, but like Batman's supposed to be doing that shit. Batman's not really like a.
Yeah. If you look back at like
he's only
the comics
got a
or the
few
TV shows, he's always in this giant fucking cave alone with all his gadgets and shit.
Yeah. And he like Alfred he trusts because Alfred raised him essentially, and he trusts Robin because he trained him, but he doesn't. He's not like he doesn't really. Strike me as a guy who's got like an entourage.
That's why there was a joke running like whenever you see like parodies of the Dark Knight series and all that, where it's just like the How It Should Have Ended, which were cartoonized versions. Or
I know what How It Should Have Ended is.
Yeah, sorry for those that don't
Batman
fucking
and
know.
Superman
Jesus.
and Spider-Man always hang out in the diner.
Where it's like,
well, I don't really want them listening to this podcast. If you don't know what she is, get the hell out.
Seriously, fucking get the fuck out.
Love you.
But where when he's doing the actual Dark Knight trilogy, whenever he goes up to like, especially an attractive woman, his like immediate line is, "Hey there, you want to know my secret identity?" Because it's basically like everyone knew who the fuck Bruce Wayne was, or who the fuck Batman was in the Nolan trilogies. Like everybody just found out after a while, except fucking Detective Gordon.
Oh yeah.
Until like the very end of the movie, when he's like, the very end of The Dark Knight Rises, where he's like, he repeats back to him what he said to him when he was a kid and his parents had gotten murdered, and then like you just see this look of realization on Gordon's face. He's like, Bruce. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man! Everyone else knew.
I don't think that, like, even if this movie is amazing, and I really think it's going to be amazing,
Same.
I don't think they're ever going to do better than what they've done with the games. The
Oh yeah.
games
Oh yeah.
are the Batman games
There's
are
something that those
just
Arkham games offer that
incredible.
you just can't bring to me in a movie, in my opinion. Like you just
No, and they wouldn't see. They don't invest time in some criminal or some, well, like some villains that they should. It's like obviously we know certain of them, but like
Mary Pat,
uh
you need to chill.
yeah, well, that was a
Bring back
mistake.
Mr. Freeze.
But Poison Ivy was in that movie too, and she was awful.
Yeah.
She was
Didn't she just want to
awful,
bang, or
and
didn't she
she's
make
one of
them
the
just want
most
to bang her
interesting.
or something? Like they like
Yeah,
fought
well,
each
I
other because
mean,
they wanted to fuck her.
that's she sometimes does that because she's like she's a plant
I'm telling you right
person,
now,
so she can use
Margot Robbie's
pheromones and
Harley
shit. But
Quinn better be fucking something. I'm sorry, no. Let me
it's
rephrase it.
perfect. It's gonna be
Let me rephrase
perfect.
that. Better be something, because I need
And
this. I
listen,
need Harley Quinn to be perfect.
Jared Leto, his Joker, it's gonna be
I'm sure
perfect.
he's gonna be.
He's gonna be
I
completely
have no doubts
perfect.
that he will be good. After what I saw, just that scene of him in fucking the trailer for
Like, I'm
Suicide
not gonna
Squad.
kill you. That one.
Yeah, that like for me is
Yeah.
just like, all right. I think,
You can't, but you have to kind of go at it from like, okay, this is like sort of like steampunk Batman.
and I'm
Like
not
you gotta come at it from a different
me
angle.
personally. I'm not like I love what fucking Heath Ledger did, but I'm not like super like I'm
Yes.
not glued to it. You know, like I'm like you can't take this away from me. It's sad that he passed away. He did an amazing job. One of the best Jokers
He
that were out there.
also
But to me, it's like
did it to himself.
people can still
Not
do it. You know,
saying
like people can still do their own interpretations and still be good at it. People can be good. You know, like they can do stuff well.
well, if you look at Jack Nicholson's, his is so like campy and
Yeah, and
whatever,
it's good.
like hoity-toity-doy, and there's nothing wrong with that. No one would say that's bad. It's just different. So
Exactly.
you got to understand. I think if they're expecting something like Heath Ledger, and I think Heath Ledger got like superstar celebrity status because that
Yeah,
was his last like big film,
that
and
too.
it was so good.
Dude, I didn't know he was as young as he was. Like when he died.
Well, drugs,
Yeah,
man.
fucking drug.
Every
Like
like
he
every
aged
other
the shit out of
celebrity
him.
who dies, it's drugs.
Yeah. Either
Makes me really
either
sad.
that or like Illuminati. Dude, have we gotten to that point like there's like I don't know if it's every summer or something like it where celebrities just start dying? Like am I the only one that felt that way?
Yeah.
Like especially when Michael Jackson, I'm
Farrah
Farrah
Fawcett.
Fawcett, lovely woman, and like a bunch of other like celebrities. Just there's a point where they just start dying, and then like not long, year or two ago, Robin Williams and all that. It's just like it just sort of happens sometimes, and you're just like, whoa, man! It just
Well, if
suddenly
you
you
just
realize
look at
three of
the
them died. It's like whoa,
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's scary because it's like, okay, even the richest, most privileged of us humans is not
most
capable of
adored
outrunning death.
too. It's like when
Right. Paul
how
Walker, I
often
mean,
does everybody like from all over the world or in a lot of different places simultaneously mourn someone? Doesn't happen often. It's pretty fucking crazy.
that sounds terrifying to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever be that well known.
Yeah, like to me it's just like God, please don't cry over me. Like I don't deserve to be cried over. I'm fine.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You absolutely deserve to be cried over.
I'm sorry.
But it's
I
like
don't like I wouldn't
um
want you to cry. I wouldn't want people to cry over me. I'd want them to be like, "Well, that fucking happened," and then just be like laugh it off, you know, or laugh fill your heart with comedy. I'm not saying hide your emotions. I'm
right.
not saying repress your emotions. If you want to cry, cry. Obviously, at anything, whatever makes you feel sad.
Well, that's what we did at my brother's wake thing.
Mm,
It was a big party. I mean, I wasn't old enough to partake in the festivities, but it was just like a lot of drinking and singing and talking about fun stuff. And it was
yeah,
like, for what it was rather pleasant.
yeah.
But anyway, God, we're going dark
Fucking
night.
Captain America better keep his goddamn hands off of my Tony Stark. I'm telling you right now, if you and your little fucking Boy Scout best friend with one arm go and lay a fucking scratch on that suit, I will fucking come after you. God fucking damn it.
Marco,
What?
they're not real.
I know they're not real, but it's just fucking.
Santa's not real
I'm
either.
gonna
Just
come out and say
kidding.
this. Shut up.
Santa's a straight up
He's
OG.
a baller. He'll come after you. He really
You
will.
better not cry, bitch.
He sees you when you're sleeping.
Yeah,
Jesus.
he does. Are you gonna see that like weird Santa Claus horror movie?
You mean the Krampus?
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see that because I know what the Krampus is.
It's gonna be
thing,
awful.
but
It's gonna be the worst.
it's
thing
gonna
on
be
the
so
earth,
fucking bad. Like I know it's gonna be so bad.
Be terrible.
Didn't I see like
but it's
3
gonna be great.
SNL actors or something like that? Like, is this gonna be a fucking skit?
Do you think they're marketing it as a horror movie and it's not gonna be a horror movie?
I feel like it's not gonna be a horror. I feel like it's gonna be this like the Siri short from Rooster Teeth, the Killer Siri app. Like I feel it's gonna be like that.
Right. God, I hope so. I'm hoping for like the room levels of epicness where it's so bad it's good.
Yeah. That's pretty much what I want from it, because it's just like, I mean, how often do you get a horror movie about Christmas? And Gremlins doesn't count because that shit ain't scary. It's fucking funny. I thought Gremlins was genuinely funny.
was.
When I was a kid, I watched Gremlins and I'm like, this shit's fucking great, and I laughed.
I saw the first one and then like the last one they ever made.
Oh god, the second one was something else, man. That second one was oy vey. Talk about how can we milk this franchise for more money? Which at this point,
they did that with the Leprechaun too, didn't they?
Yeah,
they just sort of kept going.
At this point,
it's like, okay, we get it.
At this point, they're just gonna. Well, I mean, sci-fi does weird stuff. The channel, they're just like Siffy. Fucking shout out to Big Bang Theory. But yeah, no, it's like, how do we fucking jump from Captain America to this? But yeah, like, I don't know, man. Stuff, movies, things are happening. So, get on to more like interesting stuff. Fucking, let me just pull out my thing here. For those of you that
put your dick away, it's not the time.
Jesus, may offend easily, I recommend that this is where you start to like skim through, because it's we're not gonna bash anybody, but it is stuff that like some people don't like to talk about or hear about. But I'm just bringing you the information, and we're gonna discuss whether it's nice or not. Basically,
just the two of us.
Just the two of us. Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Jesus
Will
Christ.
Smith and I.
So there's a New Zealand billboard company called Cranium, who got in trouble with a lot of New Zealanders after its signage was deemed transphobic. You heard that right, transphobic. Now the billboard is literally, I'm going to describe it to you as I'm looking at it, a giant fucking billboard, taller than it is wide, all blue, with a sort of like shaded picture of Caitlyn Jenner with a photoshopped
in the corset.
Yeah, in a corset, photoshopped Santa hat on her head, and in big giant bold letters it says, "I hope your sack is fuller than mine this Christmas." And then it just says, "Merry Christmas from Cranium." So, basically, Jesus Christ, you guys.
It's super transphobic.
I'm a terrible person. I genuinely was like, I was shame laughing, you know, where it's like, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah. It's like, it's funny, but like,
it's like just the fucking, because it's so flippant and blatant, you know, because it's just like, it's so out there, like, boom.
And I'm pretty sure Caitlyn Jenner still has her dick.
Yeah, where it's like Jesus
just
Christ,
to whatever.
Genitals. Where it's like, I didn't want to laugh at that, but it's like, it's just so stupid and out there that it's like, all right, you got a wheeze out of me. I wheezed. That to me is the lowest level of me laughing is wheezing, because I'm just like, I'm not putting the effort in. I'm just going.
The Bruce laugh?
No, that's a like, because you can't get the laugh out. But I just did an exhale, you know, like a like that,
like a guffaw.
Yeah, like a basically. Anyway, so I just want to talk about whether shit like this is okay. In my opinion, it's not okay to just kind of take people's image, mess around with it, and basically use them as a big joke just to further your own thing. Like, I didn't know what Cranium was as a company until this stupid shit came out here.
Right.
Like,
I mean, that seems like it's super intentional
yeah,
because there's been just Caitlyn, just the transition from Bruce to Caitlyn was enough controversy. But the fact that like she's getting all these awards even though she's not actually
TV
doing
show,
anything, that then she's become as self-obsessed as any Kardashian has ever
of
been.
course.
Like, it's just the fact that Bruce went and became Caitlyn, went through the transition.
Yeah,
That's important. That's important culturally.
of course.
But all the other
Yeah.
bullshit is just like self-serving.
That's what I
god
thought.
awful.
Like, for me, as a person who knows quite a few transgender individuals, like I took it upon myself to understand a lot of it because I didn't grow up learning about stuff. I didn't grow up educated and taught about any of that. So I walk into a place, someone who clearly doesn't look like what they're telling me they are, whatever gender, whatever sex they choose.
Mm-hmm.
And in my head, I'm thinking, huh? Like, confusion? Okay.
Right. If you don't have context for it, it's
Yeah.
very weird.
And I'm confused because I'm a fucking 12-year-old. I'm like, I don't understand this shit. And when this happened, when the transition to Caitlyn Jenner was taken and Caitlyn Jenner emerged, I thought, well, initially, this is good. This is something that people need to know about because I don't think when most people think, all right, here is a person who you deem to be male or you consider male who is dressing not like a male, who's dressing like a female. This is this is an example. Most people in the media and as we've been taught say, "Oh, that's a dude in drag" or something like that. Like, it's just drag king or a
automatically
transvestite.
say that person's gay.
Yeah, they say shit like that.
But like fucking Eddie Izzard's been dressing in female clothes for forever,
Exactly.
and no
Fucking
one ever said
80s
anything
metal
about
scene.
it.
Come on, guys.
Right.
But
Like, yeah, it wasn't ever a big deal, but all of a sudden it's a big deal now because
when people want to be
I
taken
think
seriously,
probably because
suddenly
Serge-
people get offended. Suddenly, when it's
Right.
like, no, this is a serious thing that I want you to listen to, people
well,
are like, oh,
also a
what?
full transition is a bit, you're able to get a full transition now. Like, if you want to add boobs and remove dick and turn it to a vagina, that's entirely possible.
Of
You
course.
can do that. You can do that through hormones
Definitely.
and surgeries, and
It's
so
a whole
you
thing.
can then live your life
The way you
as
want
a
to.
completely, entirely, female person, other than like genetics or whatever,
And all that
other than at a very
all that taken into mind after this happened and after I thought, okay, this is good. This will sort of like get the transgender community and the idea of being transgender out in the open, in the public domain.
which it did,
And it
but
did,
then it became a big fucking joke.
But then it became a giant joke because now reality show, awards, this whole thing where it's like South Park wasn't helping. South Park, you're funny. I enjoyed the shit that they did about it, but it's like now it's a big joke again, and now it's like nothing has been achieved except now Caitlyn Jenner has more money in TV shows and shit that then she knows what to do with. So it's like, in the end, like always, the rich get rich. This isn't about money, but the people who are famous stay
totally
famous.
It totally is. Listen, if let's see, if somebody like
oh, my dog's crying.
Chris Pratt, right? Chris Pratt, nice dude, well liked, not a snob, not all up in himself. If he had done this, if he had become Krista,
oh yeah, it would have been a whole.
It would have been received entirely differently.
And actually, even that's incorrect.
But Caitlyn Jenner is all the worst that I know, qualities.
Choosing a name that's similar to your birth name is a big thing that you just shouldn't do. But go on. I know it's just an example.
No, well, I'm just like, okay, then Genevieve Pratt. I mean, it was just to illustrate the change.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No. I know that. Listen, I it's okay. I understand. Inform me of what is appropriate and not appropriate. do that,
Obviously,
because even if
we're
I
not
know
saying
somebody might not.
Chris Pratt is transitioning. We don't know that. It's not.
No, okay, but if Chris Pratt became Genevieve Pratt, whatever, if he transitioned and became a woman, if he was transgender,
Yes.
uh, it would be completely differently received, because she would still be funny, she'd still be Will-like, she'd be rather uh agreeable to people.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner is like all these terrible things that people have made jokes about the Kardashians for years, about them being self-centered and self-serving,
Yep.
and they don't know about what's going on in the world. And all those things are absolutely true about Caitlyn Jenner. It doesn't mean that the things that she's going through as a woman, and the things that she's dealing with her sexuality, or with dressing, or with being publicly judged, it doesn't mean that those things aren't important. It's important that we see those things and understand that that's not the way it should be. But at the
Absolutely.
same time, I don't care if you have a fancy like in a fancy car, and I don't care if you get mad because your stylist or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't care.
At
I
the end of the
don't
day,
care,
I
because that's not.
understand your struggle. At the end of the day, I think that, it takes a lot of
I think
courage to
you are
do what
brave.
people are,
Yeah.
what something like as big as that, because God knows that there are people like me who don't have the courage to do the smallest things, that have nothing to do with that. So it's like that, all that I'm all about. I'm all about it. I'm all about you being who
Right.
you want to be, who you really are. But then it becomes a
I'm
fact that
happy that Caitlyn Jenner
but then it becomes
is
a fact
who
of
she is.
now you're just doing what any other female on reality TV does. And I don't give a shit about that. That's not what
Right.
that's never been an interest of mine. I never watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I never watched Real
I did.
Housewives of whatever the fuck. So it stopped being, for me, an actual issue, because from what I can tell, everything's fine and dandy now. No one's. I mean, I still see
Well, and
stupid
she
fucking
also has
jokes.
enough money that even if she's put up against if someone makes a transphobic comment, they're going to jump to her defense, obviously.
Of course,
But
yeah.
if someone because it's the wrong thing to do. But if she has enough money where she doesn't have to see or deal with any of those things. And can you imagine somebody like you or I, just in, normal land,
Yeah.
with normal people having to deal with.
Like
I imagine it's incredibly isolating
I'm
sometimes,
trying
because
to
just
imagine.
dealing with
I'm trying to imagine
sexuality issues
my
is.
close friends
Mhm.
who are transgender, and trying to think, okay, when they, let's say they had just enough money to get through all the transition, let's say they had all the money to get all that treatment done, all the process, and they came out one day
Which
and
is
they
hundreds of
completely
thousands of
transition.
dollars.
Yeah, and I'm saying it as an example. And that happened,
Mhm.
and they came out, came out of their rooms the next day, and they're fine. How would their families react? How would people around them react? And what would be the repercussions?
And
Obviously,
you have to deal with issues about yourself,
exactly,
like your sexuality,
and
or
mental
who
issues at the
you
same time,
are, or what
psychological,
transition.
because it's also people suffer from identity issues, where it becomes a matter of
Mhm.
like, am I making the right choice? Did I make the right choice? Am I doing something drastic here? Like, it becomes that. And then imagine having on top of that somebody putting. Imagine this not being a billboard of Caitlyn Jenner, but being a billboard of some random kid in California who's going through the same thing, who
Right.
did the exact same thing.
Mhm.
It's like, now you just, like, I'm trying to picture it like this. This is fucked up to do to a person, and it's just a dick move. It's not funny. It's like, it's
But it's obvious why
it's
it's happening. It's not.
it's
It's
uh
not.
it's not clever.
I
That's what I'm
hope.
trying to say. It's
I
not
hope that we live in a world
commendable.
where that joke is made because it's a joke, and not because
Yeah,
there's any bitterness or whatever negative feelings towards Caitlyn Jenner herself.
that's exactly what
Just for
I feel.
being Caitlyn Jenner.
Like, if
I
you
think we're
make
both on the same page. I think most people are
yeah,
on the same page.
if you at the end of the day, if you believe in comedy and you believe in clever writing and jokes and putting effort into what you do and doing it for the sake of funny, not for the sake of like, hey, look at me, fucking, I'm clever, I make fun of stupid people on the TV. It's like, it's just,
Well, then make fun of Caitlyn Jenner for things she says, and for the fact that she's anti-gay marriage.
yeah, for shit like that, where it's like, hey, I'm I just
Talk about
became I
that
just
shit.
became this icon for the public icon for this entire community. Hey, by the way, I don't think any of y'all should be getting married. Like, all right,
That she doesn't understand
GG,
it.
bro.
She went through all these identity issues and is talking about how she's always felt like a woman, even like during the Olympics and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you can't you can't wrap
Fathom.
your
You can't
stupid fucking
fathom why
Republican head
two
around
people
this
of the same
shit.
sex would want to marry each other. It's like, all right, you clearly differ. You clearly are a few screws loose, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like if you want to insult some shit, insult that.
Yeah.
Don't. That has nothing to do with the fact that Caitlyn Jenner
But yeah,
used to
what
be
this
Bruce.
I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but her first and half middle name are Mary Haddock. She puts a fine where it's it's just in poor taste. I wouldn't call it offensive like she did, but she calls it offensive, and you know, oh, and they apparently Cranium Signage donated to Rainbow Youth, so they donate some money. So that's what I call just kind of like pussying out. Also, you know you did something stupid, and it's like, here's some money, throws money, okay, leave me alone, like that. Where it's like, all right,
Yeah, but I think the whole thing, I think people will just basically prostitute themselves and their ideals and their beliefs and the
yep,
whole structure of everything that they've acted under. But previously, if there's a large sum of money on the table, like,
yeah.
it just
At
is a
the end of the
similar
day,
thing like the Starbucks
I don't
thing.
think that Rainbow Youth would mind getting some money. Like, I don't think they care who it's from. So if it's coming from these people who just did this incredibly stupid and just like rude thing to a person in the community,
Yeah, but
they don't
the
mind taking the
fact
money.
that
But then at the
we're
same
going to be
time, the
referencing
Cranium
this,
people,
a year from now.
they got what they wanted. I mean, they got this attention. They're getting
Right.
attention from. There's a fucking fan cast of something else in with a guy in California and people in other places of the country talking about something in New Zealand and their company. And I've said the name of the company like 5 times, so they got what they wanted. Free publicity. They're
Right.
not
And
gonna
this
get
is going to be
arrested. They're not
referenced in the
gonna get.
future
Maybe they'll get
as,
sued. Who
can you
knows?
believe they did
But
something like
yeah.
that?
But
Yeah, but do you think that Caitlyn Jenner is sitting in her $10 million home in her hot tub crying about
no,
this billboard?
no. I
I
think
don't.
she's sipping whatever wine she likes to drink and not giving a fuck. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
moving on to other stuff. People are assholes. We get it. Let's talk about
Yeah.
a situation where somebody who isn't an asshole got bent over and fucked in the ass metaphorically. Do not.
I'm like,
I'm
that
gonna
doesn't
hold on. Hold
sound
on.
so
My
bad.
dog is literally licking herself loudly right now in my ear range. Stop it. The Fancast does not want to hear you lick yourself and slobber
You're
your
making a lot of
disgusting.
assumptions there, Marco.
She's fucking licking herself. I can hear her.
I can't.
You're disgusting. The dog, not you. Anyway. So
No
guys,
judgment. This is judgment-free zone.
a Walmart in shit, where
Yeah, I
is
don't
it?
know anything about this, so you're gonna have to inform me. Tell me a story, Marco.
Where the fuck is Albany? Oh,
New York.
Niskayenya. I don't know where the fuck that is.
Well, Albany's New York, I think.
Okay, so in New York, a Walmart fires an employee of 18 years, almost as long as I've been alive on this earth. I'm sorry, yeah, for not turning in cash found in parking lot quickly enough. Let me preface this by saying, if you work at Walmart or any jobs like this, and you find money in a
Quit.
parking lot, and your first instinct is not to take it, if your first instinct is to give it, is to return it or put it in the lost and found or something like that, good on you, because you are a stronger person than I. But anyway, so last month
Speaking.
a Michael
No, go ahead.
Walsh,
Sorry.
who's a Walmart maintenance worker of 18 years, was fired. He'd found $350 in cash in a parking lot of the Walmart neighborhood market in Niskayenya, and returned it after about 30 minutes. So apparently he was a full-time employee and he was terminated for gross misconduct. He said that the only thing he did was hesitate. He said that he didn't steal anything. They didn't give him any warning. They just fired him. Basically, he found money in the parking lot. He found a bunch of bills, and then later on, a woman was yelling at a manager, freaking out that she lost her money, right? So he was gonna give it back, but he was just doing other stuff. He wasn't gonna do it at that very moment until this customer started freaking out, and he's like, "Oh man, I should probably give it back now instead of later, right?" Um,
Mm-hmm.
so he immediately went to his manager, gave his manager the $350 and said he found it was this is about 30 minutes after he'd found it, right? The manager took the money and he didn't hear anything afterwards. And then 2 days later, the manager confronted him with surveillance tape and then fired him. So he had just recently gotten a raise to $14.35 an hour, and he was 2 years away from a 10% lifetime discount card for 20-year employees. And he quoted, he said this: "I was really looking forward to that lifetime discount card in about 2 more years." And so, what I want you to take from this is not that people are assholes and people are dumb for losing their money and they get people fired. Here's what I want you to take from this: a man who spent nearly 20 years of his life working at a Walmart just said, "I was really looking forward to that lifetime discount card in 2 more years." Where the fuck are
Yeah.
we as a fucking society where this is what a person was looking forward to after 20 years of their life? A 10% discount card. It's a lifetime discount card, so I guess it never runs out, but I don't know, man. It's like nothing.
Well, I mean,
I was looking forward to maybe retirement funds or my 401k. I was looking to other. No, I was looking forward to this fucking discount card that I get at Walmart.
well, I mean, oh man.
I don't know. It just seems
I've
like,
worked at Walmart. My friends have worked at
yeah,
Walmart. It's not a great place to work. Like
I'm
on
sure I've
paper, it
not
may
heard
seem
good things.
okay.
I have not heard good things.
No, it's the insurance is shitty. The way they deal with situations is shitty.
I mean, what I basically just want people to like take from this is like, this is it. This is a man that, to support his family, took up a job at Walmart around, I'd say, 1995, 19, or 97. Sorry if it's 18.
mm-hmm.
Um, kept working there. Was just a maintenance worker. He was still cleaning bathrooms nearly 20 years later. Um, and he got fired. And the only thing he was looking forward to, not a huge raise, not a promotion, none of that. Maybe he got promoted once or twice. Who knows what he initially entered as? But and all he was looking forward to was a discount card. That is to me that's just awful. To me that's just not worth 20 years of your life. In my opinion. Obviously, not everyone has the luxury of having that choice. Some people work out of necessity. It's very easy to understand that if that was the case. But to me it's still like,
Yeah.
that's not his fault. That's just life's
Well,
fault. And then the people responsible for making 20 years worth of his life worth it are the people that fired him in like 2 seconds, who had no trust or
this
interest in a nearly 20-year employee's like anything. They were just like, the second he made a mistake, honest mistake, and was going to do the right thing, fire him. Get him the fuck out of here.
well, I think this is a really good example of one of those things that um if he hadn't done anything at all, he'd still have a job.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
They would not have gone through surveillance footage of the whole store and the
nope.
parking lot to try and track down this $350 for this woman.
They would have been like,
If
"Sorry,
he
ma'am, we
hadn't
don't
said
know."
anything, if he had just pocketed it and said nothing, um,
Yeah.
nothing at all, then he would still have a job.
$350. You telling
Uh,
me that doesn't go a good way for a guy working at Walmart? You telling me that doesn't at least buy dinner
listen,
for a couple of nights? That's
okay.
pretty nice.
Somebody I know found like $120 in the Walmart parking lot when he was leaving for home from Walmart after work,
Yeah.
and he just pocketed it. I mean, it was like 9 o'clock at night. and he was clocked out. So it's like, I think if I found that kind of money, if I found $350, I would like walk it into the store, just because I am someone who would lose money, probably not that much, but I would definitely, lost a lot of money before, just like, falling out of my pocket.
Yeah,
And so I wouldn't want
I know what
someone
you
to
mean.
go through that, especially during Christmas. However,
And let me say this though. I know what you're saying. If I lost that amount of money too, 350 is a lot of money. Um, we don't know what the woman's situation was. Maybe she was like super broke, and like
mhm.
that was like all the money she had anyway.
Well, if you're shopping
But
at Walmart, you're
if I
probably
if I had lost that money, yeah, I'd want somebody to return it. I'd want somebody to do the deed. But at the same time, I don't know if I could consider myself like, all right, what has this led to if I find out that the person who found it was going to return it in every single right sense of their mind, got canned after not nearly 20 years at his job doing that. Obviously, not everyone's at their job for nearly 20 years doing that, but if I found out that just because I lost some money and this guy found it, he had to pay the price. I don't even know. I didn't see there if the woman got her money back. I'm sure she did, but I don't know, man. It's like,
yeah.
what? Where do you draw the line of like how you treat employees and just the morale? Because what they're teaching people with stuff
But
like
do
this
you
is
think that maybe
basically
there's something
you
else
find a lot
going
of
on?
money.
Do you think that
I mean, I don't know.
maybe there was some other problems with said employee, or maybe that they wanted to get rid of him but before 20 years and they saw a good reason?
You know what? You're absolutely right. That could have happened,
Well,
but
because I know
that's all speculation at this point.
you get,
We can only guess.
well, that's what I'm saying. This is a relatively new story, I'm assuming, because it has to do with the holiday
Yeah,
season. So I imagine more
it
stuff will
happened
come
last
out
month.
about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, this just came out like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it was a pretty open and shut article. All it said was like, yeah, the guy got shit canned. Here's what he said, that he was just looking forward to that discount card, and that's it.
Well, 10% off isn't
That's all she
anything to
wrote.
sneeze at, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
I've done the Walmart thing, and it's really because the bottom
just
level
in
people, the
general.
cashiers and the cart pushers and the maintenance, and they're working hard to try and just get enough money to survive. And then even the people above them, like the CSMs and the managers and stuff, they're just trying to survive.
Yeah,
And then above them, like when you get to department managers and store managers, that's when there starts to be some sort of like power struggles. But I've heard about, like,
mhm,
just in one store, about the bullshit that went. Like, I worked at Walmart for less than a year, and they went through 3 store managers. And then it's just there's a lot of
Jesus
just,
Christ.
I mean, Walmart's not really a great company. It doesn't really have, there's a dark side. So,
Yeah, I question their values just a tiny bit.
yeah, I do too. Especially since they're one of the main companies going, yeah, we're not going to pay people more. Nope. Fuck
I
the
think
living
I
wage.
think when you hear the word conglomerate, if is that a correct word to use in this, or just big corp? When I think corporation, I think like
A
Walmart
monopoly.
and all that. Well, no, Monopoly owns like everything. So
You don't think that Walmart owns everything?
I mean, not every single fucking thing. If they had a monopoly, then I mean, monopolies are illegal technically. So
Yeah, but
if you owned
if you look
everything,
at
then
like
we'd
all the
notice. Oh
parent
shit.
company stuff, like the companies that own other companies,
Well,
it's
yeah,
all owned by
I
the same
suppose.
people. There's like 3 that own everything.
Yeah, there's like one company that owns like all the fast food chains that everyone thinks are like, oh, rivals or some
Yeah,
shit.
and that's why I'm
Burger
like,
King,
why
McDonald's,
don't
I'm sure are owned by different things, but I'm like, I know for a fact Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell owned by the same people. It's
you
all
well, that's why
same
they have
same big
those that's why they
super
have
core.
those 3 restaurants in one, which is why I'm saying, why the fuck is there not a Taco Bell Dairy Queen?
Fuck, that'd be good.
I know.
But
It
yeah,
would be
I
like
mean,
the
at the
ultimate
end of the
place to go
day,
if you're stoned.
companies just treat your fucking employees better. Jeez, what would you be without them? I mean, yeah,
They don't
eventually
care.
I'm sure you think we're all just gonna have fucking service robots that pack our bags and suck our dicks for us too. Like it's just,
They have robots that
god
suck
damn it.
dicks.
I know,
Listen,
but
there's nothing
obviously
you
they
can
don't have
do.
those at the fucking self-service aisle at Walmart.
Once people lose their sense of humanity because of money or because of status or because of the way they see the world, that you can't change them. There's
Phone
nothing
case
you
of
can do. You
baby.
can just be you and do your best. But the people who have money, like the Waltons
Yeah.
and the fucking, like all these fucking people, who are part of these
Yeah.
companies, who are movers and shakers, they don't know anything. They don't know what it's like to try and make it on food stamps. They don't know how it's like to have to take the bus for 45 minutes
They don't know the
there and
feeling of
back
like,
to
are
get
you
to
going to be able to
work.
make rent this month? Are you going to be able to pay your bills this
Yeah, and
month?
it's
Are
like,
you
okay,
gonna?
if I miss rent this month, can I make it up? Or
Yeah,
will the
yeah,
power get shut off? Or what does this mean for my kids? Or what does this mean for this and that? And it's
exactly. And that's why I have the biggest respect for like people like my mother, who, big fucking shocker. My mom worked her ass off in like pretty shit jobs
mhm,
for most of her life to support me and my brother, who were fucking kids. Like by the time my brother was old enough to get a job and doing something, we were okay. My dad was in the picture and all that. We were fine. Big old happy family.
mhm.
But my mom, for a good amount of time, was just working as a waitress at Denny's, uh, working her ass off trying to feed two kids and like live on her own because neither of the kids' dads gave a fuck and their families were just as bad. So it's like,
Yeah.
at that point, it's sort of like a do or dive thing, or swim or sink
Mhm.
thing. So my mom swam.
Right.
But yeah, so it's like whenever I go into like fast food restaurants or anything like that, stores like that, I keep in mind that the person behind the register or the person behind the counter, they don't in most cases they don't want to be there, and in most cases they've been there longer than I have, doing something they don't want to do,
Right.
dealing with people that are much much worse. So I'm like, what can I do to make this person's job easier? Maybe not their job easier, but maybe at least make their day a bit easier. Maybe it's something as simple as like having exact change, or something as simple as like, you know, being quiet and just passing your stuff through, getting out of there quick. Not I'm not saying rush yourself. I'm not saying go out of your way to be like, you know, rushing yourself out of there, but be quick paced. Don't like drag your feet. And just small stuff like that. Know what you're gonna order before you get to the register. Stuff like the tiniest things, I'm sure, make those people's days a lot easier.
I think
Because
being just from working different service jobs, I think just being pleasant to people. Like, and keep this in mind
yeah,
as you're going about shopping and things during the holiday season. Because, yeah, people are going to be crazy. And some asshole in front of you is going to piss you off because they're an asshole. But just be pleasant to the people behind the counter. Just like smile, have a good day, clean up
yeah.
after yourself. You
Don't
know,
hit on them like a fucking weirdo.
I'm not a weirdo. Sometimes the
I didn't.
chick behind the
No, I'm
counter
saying
is
I hit on
beautiful.
somebody like a weirdo, and it was horrible, and I never want to do it again.
Oh, poor Mike. Poor, poor,
No, because it was
poor
just
Michael.
creepy. It wasn't sweet or anything. It totally sounded fine in my head, but it came out as creepy. I already told the story once. I think it's
And you're
fine.
like,
Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna eat your bosom. I mean,
Uh,
can I have some
I mean
soup?
worse, but okay. God. So speaking of not getting any pussy, or in this case, getting a lot of it, fucking shout out to El Chapo, man, getting laid in jail like once a fucking. This guy had the usual conjugal visit in the jail that he had was
Mm-hmm.
like once a month. He had it once or so every 9 days. And yeah, I'm sure most of those were like to plot his escape and shit. But you think he didn't take 5 minutes out of his escape routine to plow whoever the chick was?
No, he's probably getting his dick sucked while going over the plan.
While going over the plans. Or maybe she had the key in her mouth or something like that, and she passed it on to his dick. Key ring on his penis pulls up. Anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to end on that light note of fucking Chapo getting laid more than I have in the 19 years of my life. I gotta start selling drugs or something, man. Jesus, arriba.
Don't do that.
So
You'll get killed.
no, I'm not. I'm not gonna fucking do that. Jesus Christ. With that, I hope you have enjoyed this lovely, much longer than I
Eminem.
thought it was gonna be episode of the
Yeah, Chris,
Eminem podcast.
you might wanna like cut out all the stuff where we got like sappy and shit.
Yeah, Chris, just cut out like cut out like an hour and 7 minutes of this.
RT Fancast, get
All right.
boys.
Thanks everybody for listening. we'll see you next week, hopefully with the whole gang here. What?